Good morning. Welcome back to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney, and you are starting another weekly reading vlog with me. So excited to be here, feeling good this morning, ready to start a busy week. I wanted to pop on and just share what my weekend reading was like. I had a whole plan. If you watched my vlog on Friday, or my last vlog, my last day was Friday, and I talked about all the things I was going to read. And some of those never happened. So I want to talk about what I actually finished and what I am starting to read this week. So pretty exciting. I want to say it was Thursday, maybe it was Friday. No, it was Friday. Friday. I got my Babysitters Club books that I had purchased from eBay. A seller was doing 74 book lot and lots of books that I didn't have. And so we got those, super excited, and I decided that I was going to read the series from the beginning. Excited to start this venture because I honestly haven't done that since I was a kid. Have I reread Babysitters Club books? Yes, but not like from the beginning. So usually in the past I've read like bits and pieces of it, and then not bits and pieces, but certain books that I wanted to read at the time. And I've read last time all of the Claudia and Stacey books. It was really exciting to me, and then any ones that came up as I was listening to podcasts and things like that. But now that I have most of the set, besides maybe like 20, I'm going to read them, and I want to read them in publication order, so that will include the mysteries. So I will need to print off a publication order so I know in which way to read them. And I just won another eBay lot of 18 of the mystery books. I think there's like 36 of them, and so it's just a good start, but I just am committed to like getting all the books. So I also organize those books, and if you are subscribed to me, you can check out my community tab. I put a picture of the way that I was organizing them. I'm so excited to have them organized. If you're not subscribed, I say check it out. If you like the channel and the content, we'd love to have you subscribe. So this weekend, I went through 4 books. Now that sounds like a lot, but they were pretty short, or ones that I was already reading. The longest one was the one that I read yesterday, and it took me literally all day. So I finished up on Friday, Marianne's Makeover. I ended up giving this 5 stars. This is Babysitters Club book number 60. Obviously, this is before I decided I was going to reread the series. But this book focuses on, obviously, Marianne. She decides to get a makeover. I ended up giving it 5 stars, which I don't usually do with Babysitters Club books. It's usually like a 4 if they're really good. 3 is the lowest that I'll give one of these books because I'm rereading them. And so I give this one a 5 because I thought it was really well written. I liked the perspective of Marianne getting a makeover, wanting to change things about herself, and like not really getting a lot of support from her friends. And I thought that was like an interesting dynamic because we always see the Babysitters Club helping each other out and being there for each other, and this was like absolutely not. So I really liked that, and it was a good pace. Then I read You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kalynn Bayron. I will show a picture of this book. It's a thriller. I think it's a YA thriller. It was about 200 pages, but I gave it 2 stars. But on Goodreads, I actually gave it a higher rating because I wanted to support the author, because I don't think it was her writing style. I just didn't care for the story in general. And so it wasn't for me. I really don't have that much to say about it. And then I finished up Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. I got this book last week or the week before last at Barnes & Noble as like a middle grade series that I wanted to start, and I ended up giving this 3 stars. This is another one of those instances where it took me a long time to get through it, and so I will continue with this series. I already bought the second book, but I need to sit and read it straight through. This one was good, but it's a lot of world building in this first book, a lot of meeting the new characters. This is like an 8, 9, or 10 series, 10 book series right now, and so I feel like they're doing a lot of building of the world, and so that was not super interesting to me. So like, as you can see, as I'm getting through the weekend, like I'm finishing books, but like it's not a stellar reading week. It was just like trying to figure out what I was going to read. And then I started yesterday The Happy Ever After Playlist by Abby Jimenez. I ended up giving this 4 stars, and this is my 3rd Abby Jimenez books that I've read so far, and I really like her writing and her style. I didn't give it 5 stars because, and I said this, maybe I said it last time, but Abby Jimenez writes really good male characters. She makes really great book boyfriends. They're attentive, they're nice, they're doing all the things, but the girls are so annoying in her books. And so in this book, we follow Sloane and Jason. Sloane finds Jason's dog unknowingly. The dog jumps into her car, which is a little off base, but she starts taking care of it, trying to get a hold of the owner. The owner hasn't responded. The owner is Jason. Jason is a musician who was on tour, and they start a text conversation and start liking each other. Jason asks her out, and it kind of goes from there. They do end up in a relationship, but that they had a couple of breakups, as they do, and they were not great, as they never are. So, but overall the book was really good. It moved pretty fast. It was about 400 pages though, so again, it took me pretty much the entirety of the day. Last night though, after I finished that, I finished it about 5, and I started it maybe about 9, and I was in and out yesterday, whatever, so it took me most of the day. So then after I finished that, I decided I was going to move on. So this weekend I did pick up The Summer Girl by Elle Kennedy. I was so excited to pick this up because I've read the other 2 books in the Avalon Bay series, and I'm only like the first chapter in, and it's already kind of like, So I'm going to be more focused and try to read more of this. I know it'll get good. And then I'm also just starting my reread of Babysitters Club. So I am reading Christie's Great Idea. This is book 1 in Babysitters Club. And let's see, where am I? I am done with it. Oh, I finished it. Nice. I finished it last night. So exciting. I forgot because I literally fell asleep with my Kindle in my hand. So I'm done with that. So I'm ready for book 2, which is Claudia and the Phantom Phone Call. And so I will be getting that. I think I have, well, I know I have the paper copy. I don't know if I have it digitally. I have to see. And then so I did say I was going to read Daddy Diaries. I didn't touch it. And then I also said I was going to read Rock, Paper, Scissors. I didn't touch it, but Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney is on Kindle Unlimited. So I just downloaded it so that when I'm ready to read it, it will be there. Yeah. Also, just an update on the Kindle Scribe. I still love it. It is not as big and cumbersome as it might look. It is really a great reading experience. And what I found, let's see if I can open up a book. So what I was struggling with, and I was like, please don't make this a thing. I was struggling with the font size, right? And so on any Kindle, you can change the font size. And sometimes the font size, to me, makes it hard to get through a page. So originally, I had my font size at a 5, right? And so this was just a lot of words on the paper for me personally. And I'm one of those people that I get motivated by like moving through the book. And so I saw this on somebody's Instagram and I was like, duh, why didn't I think of this? So I've moved the font to like a size 7 or 8. This is an 8. And you can see there's lots of words on the page still, but like not as many. And so I feel like I'm clicking faster through as I finish. So that is really great. But yeah, really loving this. The battery life has been great. I've read it every day since last Wednesday. It's got 1 charge since then, and I'm at 68% still. So I think this is a really quality device. And now I'm feeling like, what will I use my Oasis for? But what I have been using it for is just like nighttime bed reading, because it's obviously lighter to hold. But yeah, so those are the updates so far. So my focus will be The Summer Girl, possibly, and Claudia and the Phantom Phone Call. I might start Paper Extras. I haven't decided. I'm kind of all over the place right now because reading sprints are tonight. I also have committed to finishing, you know what I'll do? I think this is what I'm feeling right now. I think I want to finish my Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn along with the Babysitters Club. So I like to have something like a little bit more party with the Babysitters Club, and I think this is going to slump me because I'm not ready to read this yet. So I think that's my plan. I'm excited for the sprints tonight, and yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. All right, talk to you soon. Good morning and happy Tuesday. It is another great day here. Just hopping on really quick. I have a work thing today that I have to go in person for. So that's why I have a face on. But yesterday was a great day. So it was so busy at work. When I got done, I literally just plopped on the couch and I couldn't even focus on reading until the sprints. And so I plopped on the couch for like 45 minutes and I went to go get Reagan from her summer camp program, and then I came home, exercised, showered, made dinner, and then it was time for sprints. That's really what I did yesterday. And so in between that time though, excitingly, I finally got my copy of The Fourth Wing. I had ordered this on Barnes & Noble maybe about 2 weeks ago because they've been sold out everywhere, as everybody knows. And I do have a digital copy of this, but again, for me, it works better if I have a hard copy of a fantasy. It works even better if I have hard copy and digital for a fantasy. And so that's kind of what I'm doing with The Fourth Wing. And so really excited to have that. I started it yesterday in the second round of sprints. So in the first round of sprints, I was reading Claudia and the Phantom Phone Calls. This is... let me go to it. This is book 2 in the Babysitters Club. As I've mentioned, I am going into just reading the whole series from the beginning. And I haven't done that in years, right? And I really appreciate doing that because I'm picking up things that I haven't thought about in years. So going through all of the people, all of their stories. And so I'm about 22% in that. So during the first sprint, I read that book. And then the second sprint, I started The Fourth Wing. I'm about 9% into The Fourth Wing. I'm 10%. I'm on chapter 4. And it is really good so far. I really like the writing style. And I think what's happening is like a new trend of fantasies, right? There's like fantasies that are accessible to everybody, like fantasies that are accessible to non-fantasy readers. And so I appreciate that effort as well. I would say I am a fantasy reader, but like light. If it gets too otherworldly, I'm not into it. But this is just right. And so I'm really liking the start of this. I don't have much to describe yet. Let me get a little bit more into it and then I can do that. But I am really, really enjoying it. So things that I also picked up yesterday digitally. I am, it's kind of early, but really I'm seeing a lot about like spooky season. And while I love fall, Christmas is my favorite holiday, but I do love the fall season. And so I'm ready to be cozy. Our new house has a fireplace, ready to light that up, ready to do fire pits, like the whole thing. And so I'm starting to collect some of my books I'm going to read in October. Last October, I did a whole month of spooky, witchy, cozy, mystery vibes books. And I really liked doing that because it's not my normal, number one, to do one theme for the whole month, but number two, to pick those types of books. And so I really liked that. So yesterday I picked up Hex Appeal by Kate Johnson. And then I picked up the series. This is the Supernatural Singles. Not the Witch You Wed, Not Your Ex's Hexes, and there's one more book coming out in October time. It's what is it? Not Your Crush's Cauldron. Actually, that comes out in February, so not at all going to come out before spooky time, but I am planning to read the other two, and so looking forward to that. What else? Okay, and then I just noticed that Hello Stranger by Catherine Cincher just popped on my Kindle. That was my book of the month club pick, and so now I have 2 copies, and I don't love it. So we'll see. It's not that I don't love it, it's that it started really like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. It's basically about a woman who goes face blind, and I guess this is going to lead to her falling in love with somebody just based on their personality versus their face. So I started that a little bit, but again, haven't really pursued much of that, and that's okay. Today, like I said, I have the work thing. My focus is going to be Fourth Wing, because I think this is the sort of story that I really want to take time on being invested in the story. And so I am excited to read it, and it's good. I mean, it's just good. So I'm excited to read that. And then I am going to read a little bit of the Claudia and the Phantom Phone Call as necessary. Today I have to drop off some books. It's finally time. I'm returning Discovery of Witches to the library. I actually got a paperback copy from Barnes & Noble waiting for me. So returning that, and I'm gonna return Paper, Rock, Scissors, and The Sum of Us, because I actually ended up picking this up on a daily deal. And I guess it's time to say goodbye to the villa. I'm not actually gonna read this, so I'm gonna return those today. We don't have library today at all, so I'm just gonna drop them off in the Dropbox. And then yesterday I didn't actually pick up The Summer Girl at all, and I was just thinking as I was getting ready this morning, I think it's because, like, you know how you evolve as a person, but as a reader too, and I just don't know that this is my jam anymore. Like, am I that kind of reader that reads those books? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not like putting any judgment on it. I'm just saying, like, for me, has my reading taste and style changed to where this isn't appealing to me? Now, again, I'm only like 4 pages in, so I haven't given it a fair shot, but I also don't have like a strong desire to read this yet. And maybe I'll read this for Garb August. I don't really participate in Garb August, but maybe I'll claim this as Garb August. But yeah, interesting that I don't want to pick that up. Anyway, that is the plan for today. So lots of Fourth Wing. That's my main priority today. A little bit of Babysitters Club on the side. And yeah, I think it should be a great day. So if anything else happens, I will update. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Good morning and happy Wednesday. I am so tired today. I can't believe it's only Wednesday. This week has been 1,000 weeks altogether. So let me give you an update. It's gonna be pretty short today, and maybe I'll pop on later. I didn't get that much reading done yesterday because I was so busy. And so I will just update what I did read. So I read more of The Fourth Wing. I want to shout out The Scribe, which my Scribe video will come out tomorrow, Thursday. I have to film it today. I want to shout out The Scribe because I love it, period. In addition, I love it for fantasy. So I am using it to annotate and am just loving it. I decided that I was going to get physical books for fantasy so that I can annotate them. And honestly, I haven't touched this book since page 19, and I'm now on page like 150 something. So I think it's beautiful. I don't regret getting it, but I feel like this is going to be an even better way for me to read fantasy without having to buy it and just like continue to stack up my Kindle with books. But the really cool thing about this, and I'll share here because I'm going to put it in my review, is that there's a feature on here, and I don't know if it's on any other Kindle, it could be. It's called X-Ray, and what the X-Ray does is it's like, it just tells you a part of the book. So for instance, a lot of fantasy books have tons of characters in them, and the X-Ray will, you highlight that name and it'll tell you who that person is. Major key. That is such a major difference. And so I'm really liking this book. So basically we are following Violet, and she is the daughter of a very well-known military woman. Sorrengail is the last name. And the issue is a couple of things. First of all, Violet's being pushed into becoming a dragon rider, R-I-D-E-R rider, by her mom, who is high in the military. But Violet's passion is writing, and she wants to be a scribe. However, her mother doesn't want her to do that. She's also very small and doesn't have the normal physique or stamina to be a rider, because a rider is basically the ones that are like getting hurt the most, or most at risk, are like hand-to-hand battle, like they're doing all of the combat. And so she's kind of dropped into these sort of challenges and this training to be a rider. And number one, her passion's not into it, but number two, she's not like built for this. She also hadn't been training to be a writer. She's been training to be a scribe. And so she just started practicing like hand-to-hand combat and things like that 6 months prior to coming into this fold. So she's at a deficit. She also has some sort of medical thing going on. I'm just uncovering this. I don't know entirely what it is, but she does have to get healed quite often, which also looks like weakness for her. The other side of this is that she has that Sorrengail last name, which is a trigger for Minnie because Violet's mom had murdered many people. And I'm trying to piece this part together, but it's like basically the mom was part of many military acts that killed lots of families, and their children are now in the ranks to become part of this military rider group. So she's at danger in every corner, whether it's somebody who wants to physically hurt her or getting physically hurt by these challenges and the trainings. She does have a friend in the area who is the wing leader, and they are in the 4th wing, hence the name of the book. And the wing leader is trying to have her back a little bit without showing too much allegiance or favoritism, because that puts a target on his back. I also see a little romance happening there. We have an enemy, Xander, who has already declared he wants to kill her, but I also see a little romance happening there. So far it's good. Like I said, I'm about 20% in. I'm on page 137 on the Kindle. It's different because I have my font increase. I talked about that whole thing. So I'm hoping to read more of this today. Like I really have to, because it's really good. And it's one of those things that you want to stay in the world. You want to continue to just read it and figure it out. So I'm going to read more of that today. And then last night before bed, I did pick up Claudia and the Phantom Phone Calls. Again, I'm not that far into it. I'm about 33% in, so I'm on chapter 6. They usually have about 14 or 15 chapters, and there's nothing wrong with this book. There's nothing holding it back. It's just I was so tired yesterday. I just mentally drained. I didn't feel like sleeping. I didn't feel like reading. I just felt like vegging. And so I did some of that, and I read a little bit. I think I got like 2 chapters in this. Nothing wrong with it, but I am trying to be intentional about my reread and really not skimming over parts, not skipping chapter 2, which if you read Babysitter's Club, you know, like chapter 2 is generally always the same. But as we're laying the foundation for the books, I just want to read every little bit and like really soak it in. So again, 2 books that I'm reading this week, not gonna rush it. And then yesterday I had a book on hold. I finally went ahead and bought A Discovery of Witches, which I'd had from the library for far too long, but I returned it yesterday and decided that I did want to have a physical copy. I do have a digital copy already, but I wanted a physical copy, so I did pick up the paperback from Barnes & Noble. Here's the weird thing. So I did an order for pickup, and when I picked it up, the checkout lady was like, "Do you want to check over your book? Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." And didn't think anything about it, honestly, because like, why would I check the book? I'm good. But then I got home and there is damage on the book. There's a rip here, a tear here, a crease here. Like the pages are kind of folded here. And so like, now I don't know, can I take it back? I might call them today and just see like, am I allowed to bring it back even though I didn't inspect it? Like I didn't do that damage. But clearly it's been done, so I'm gonna call them and just see. It's such a dumb question, but I am gonna call and see if I can. At first, last night, I was like, it's not a big deal, like the book has character now, but like ultimately you do pay for these books and you want them to look nice, so eek, I don't know. It's such a weird thing. It's like she knew, because nobody ever asked me if I want to check the book or not. And then I do have the receipt, and it's so funny, yesterday I was telling my girls, like, always keep the receipt at Barnes & Noble, because there was another time that I bought a book for Reagan, Babysitters Club graphic novel, and it came with a bracelet, but I saw on Facebook that people got bracelets and then we didn't get one. And so I'd over the top emailed our message on Facebook and was like, hey, we didn't get a bracelet and we got the book. And they're like, oh yeah, just bring in the receipt. And that was like the one time I didn't get a receipt. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna fight this. I should have got a receipt. So moving forward, I always get a receipt, and now I might have to use it. So those are the updates. Like I said, I'm hoping to read a whole lot more today, hoping to wake up a little bit. It's a cloudy day here, which does not help with my tiredness, but just trying to get some things knocked out. So that's the updates for Wednesday. If there's more to add on later, I will. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next clip. Hey guys, happy Thursday. I am enjoying my favorite day of the week. I had a better reading day yesterday. Still very busy, but not as tired. So that was exciting. So I want to talk about what I finished. So yesterday I did finish Claudia and the Phantom Phone Calls. Really good. I ended up giving it 5 stars. Again, I'm rereading the Babysitters Club from the very beginning, and I haven't done that in years. I've spot read and like cherry picked books that I wanted to read, but just going from the beginning has been really exciting, even on book 2. And that leads me to being able to listen to all of the first episodes of Stuck in Stony Brook, my favorite Babysitters Club podcast. And so really excited to have done that as too. So I'm listening to Christy's Great Ideas podcast. So yay to that. So I finished that. I gave it 5 stars. Like I said, these ones are taking me a little bit longer. Number 1, I've been really busy this week. I'm very tired. But number 2, because I'm actually like not skimming parts, like I'm actually reading every word, like trying to pick up the details and even highlighting things and like trying to like I can foreshadow things as they happen later on in the series. And so just trying to highlight things that might connect. So that has been really good. Then I read more of The Fourth Wing. I'm about 30% in. So I'm trying to read like 10% a night is my goal. I'm on page 198 now, Kindle version, and it's getting really good. So the best thing about this is that there's not a lot of world building. It just kind of jumps right into the story. Violet's nemesis Xander is starting to help her more and more, and her lifelong friend Dane is feeling a little bit maybe pushed aside because Xander thinks that they should be training Violet more, and Dane wants her to go be a scribe so she doesn't get physically hurt. And so she's kind of in the middle, but she's kind of feeling Xander, like she likes his bad boy energy. And so I'm excited to see that. Like I'm reading it and like low-key giddy about like what's gonna happen with her and Xander. It is Thursday, and usually I post a video on Thursday, but I didn't get a chance to film my scribe like unboxing / review because I've just been so busy. And last night or yesterday after my work day, I was exhausted, but then I still exercised. And then I was like, I came downstairs to breathe for a second, and I was like, oh, I have to film a video. And I'm like, I'm just not gonna get it done. But that video will be coming probably next week then. But just know, if you're watching the vlogs, you've heard a lot about the Scribe. It is the superior device. I say skip the Oasis. And if you're going to get a smaller Kindle, get the Paperwhite and get the Scribe. So I do use the Oasis while I'm laying down to read, because the Scribe is really hard to hold while you are laying down. And I don't want to necessarily put a whole big case on it or pop sockets, because it's already like, it's not heavy, but it's just like a monster of a device, right? And so I don't want to like add any bulk to it. But this is the device that I'm reading when I go downstairs. This is the device that I'm reading and I'm sitting upright and just ready to go. Once I get laying down at night to hold it, it does get a little bit heavy in the hand, to be honest. And so I end up getting the Oasis. Okay, so that was like a side note. But now I'm ready to move on to book 3, The Truth About Stacy. As I mentioned, I recently got a lot, LOT, of books because I was trying to complete my entire collection. I'm about 20 books away from completing the original collection. Does not include the mysteries or the super specials. But, oh no, it includes the super specials, but not the mysteries. And so I've been reading all the books digitally right now, but I decided I was going to read the actual paper book unless I can find it on Libby, because on Amazon it's $4.99, which isn't bad, but like I have it right here, so why not? And then the other thing that I want to read, which might be a weekend read or just at least started today, is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is Good Girl, Bad Blood. I really did enjoy that first book, and I was almost like, hey, I'm not going to read the second book because I don't have a desire to know what's going on. And while I don't think it needed a second book, I'm kind of excited to see like what happens next. And it was just well written and it was a good story, and so wanting to read that as well. So those are my plans for today. It's another busy day, and I have to exercise and all the things, so I probably won't be reading till later on tonight, but it will be great. All right, guys, that is it for Thursday. If anything else happens, I'll check in. Hey guys, welcome back to the weekly reading vlog. It is Friday, and this week could not be over soon enough. I'm so ready for this week to be done. I just have to make it. Okay, so this is gonna be the last day of the vlog. This was not a completion week type reading vlog, and that's okay. I love doing progress as well. Well, I did finish Babysitters Club books, but my main reading this week was The Fourth Wing, and it's getting really, really good. So I'm currently 48% in. I did a huge chunk of reading last night. Today there are productivity sprints that are a little bit longer. I think they start at 2 or 1 o'clock. And so I'll probably have a chance to read like after work once those are posted, and I have to like start from the beginning. But it's so funny because when I rewatch, I end up reading while they're talking and chatting, which is comforting to me. And then I fast forward during the actual sprint. So I am really liking the story. As I said, the story is following a group of would-be dragon riders. We're getting to a part where Violet, our main character, she's not the typical rider. She's generally very small, very weak, has not been training to be a rider. She's been training to be a scribe. And so she's now being pushed forward to be a rider by her mom, who's also one of the lead people in this military group. And she's got a couple people that she's met. So she got Dane, who is her lifelong friend, and he's one of the wing leaders, but he doesn't have confidence in Violet. He wants her to quit being a writer and be a scribe, so she's kind of resenting him for that. She's had a long time crush on him, but it's starting to dwindle. Then we have Xander, who is her enemy, and now it's turning enemies to lovers, and you can tell they have a spark, and so I'm excited to see how that goes. There's a twist with that, but I won't share what that twist is. And there's another guy, I can't remember his name, that has come into the picture that's kind of like on the scene too, that could be a love interest, but very interesting, very well written. Excited to continue with that. So this weekend, I'm hoping to read, 4 things. One, I want to finish The Fourth Wing. I think I have about 50% left. If I really sit down with it, it's starting to pick up now, like I can get that done. I also started last night The Truth About Stacy. I got to chapter 3, not that far, but again, these are just really quick reads. I just need like a dedicated 45 minutes with this and I will be good to go. So I want to finish this as well. I did get on the wait list on Libby because they said it wasn't that long of a wait, and so I love having digital copies of this too, just so I can like take it wherever I go, but if not, I'm okay with paper copy. That's the whole reason why I have them. And then, as I mentioned, I think yesterday, I want to read book 2 of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. This is Good Girl, Bad Blood. When I read it before, it really only took me a day because it moves pretty fast. The pages aren't super dense, and then you have a lot of pages that have like text messages or like, you know, a lot of empty spaces. I think it'll be okay to get through that. And then, because I'm feeling extra spicy about this, I might read the rom-com agenda because I feel like I have the motivation to get that done. I don't know what it's about. It's 316 pages. I'm assuming it's some sort of cliche rom-com writing style, like sort of poking fun at it and doing it at the same time. And it just sounds great after reading The Fourth Wing and this thriller. So that is my plan for the weekend. As always, I hope you enjoyed spending the week with me to see what I was reading. Comment down below if you've read any of these books or what do you think about my reread of The Babysitters Club. Would love to have you subscribe if you find this content was fun for you to watch. I do videos on Thursdays and Sundays. Last Thursday I didn't get to it, but usually Thursday is like where I do my TBRs, my wrap-ups, my tech reviews, and Sunday is my weekly vlog. So check that out. Also, stay tuned to the community tab because I also post on there as well. So until the next video, guys, thanks so much for watching and we'll see you later. Bye.